Nitro with the nice flow. Y'all acting like y'all don't know. Stop acting like y'all don't know.
Joe Campbell.
Who the future? We the future. Who the future? Us. Who the future? We the future. Who the future? Us. Causing chaos in the back of the bus. Get your hands up. We gon' show you how we buzz. Yeah. The future.
The future is now on a Suddenly Not So Casual Free Friday, August 26, 2022. Welcome to the premiere pilot episode of Knowledge for College, Season 22-23. I am your host, The Shark. It is Sharky Waters Nation, 9 words of lifestyle. Ride the wave or get out of the water. This is my co-host, The Gun. Guns, what's going on tonight on this beautiful Free Friday evening?
I've been waiting months for this to happen. College football is back in full form, and we are going to be doing this every single week on Fridays to give you the fire, the energy, and the cash picks to take every single college football Saturday. I'm ready to start. Let's go.
And we go quickly overseas, 12:30 Eastern, 5:30 Greenwich time in England. We're going to Dublin, Ireland, Aviva Stadium, where the Irish rugby team plays. We find the 3-9 Nebraska Cornhuskers coming in here against Pat Fitzgerald and Northwestern. Guns picks, talk to me.
You mentioned Viva, and I thought of Viva Tequila Seltzer. Shout out to them. But we're going to be talking about this game in Dublin, Ireland, Nebraska. Northwestern. Now, you got to look at these teams. Nebraska has made some strides to improve on all facets. They went to the transfer portal. They filled in the voids. They actually got a quarterback that can actually throw the ball. Casey Thompson takes over in that realm, and he was arguably the best Big 12 quarterback for not only everybody in the Big 12, but we're talking about Texas as well. So 9 losses from Nebraska last year, all from 9 points or less. That should tell you something that this team will improve this year. Typically, that is the trend. Now, Northwestern brings 9 offensive starters back this season, including all of their offensive line. Everybody's talking about their offensive line, how great they are. Well, this team was absolutely terrible last year. Helinski is still the quarterback behind center, and they lost their top 3 rushers. So I don't know what you're going to do with that offensive line. And you look at what happened last season. Nebraska beat them in Lincoln 56-7 as 11-point favorites. This line is kind of teetering in the same spot, in a neutral spot. I think Nebraska's improved. Northwestern has not. And Scott Frost, with his back against the wall, trying to keep his job, he's going to have to go out and show out in Dublin. Give me Nebraska -11 as the play.
Yeah, and as we jump off into this campaign for greatness only, as suggested a month ago, I will jump off that as an alignment play alongside our guy, Great Fusini, and my brother, Old Man Who Bets. Sharps aligning, and we love to see it. Couple other points. We talk about line functionality. This is conference play, albeit overseas. Last year, Nebraska, 3-9. One of their wins, 56-7 at home. -11 at home. You go neutral site. The line should actually come down 1.5 points. It's coming up at open to 12. Lots of movement. We're not sure where the Vegas syndicates are coming in with this late movement. But as Gunn said, Casey Thompson, gunslinger out of Texas, shunned hand injury, rebooted with the doctor from Drew Brees and Russell Wilson, will come out here with a new scheme, a new pace, a new efficiency of offense. Adrian Martinez, we wish you well at Kansas State, but Nebraska should be juiced up, ready to go. Last year in the opener, as a favorite at Illinois, they lost outright in Champaign, 30-22. Official play for me, -12. Speaking of Champaign, Illinois, we're going to the visitors' locker room, and we're going out of conference and taking Wyoming at +10.5. This has gotten steamed, a lot of movement, a couple injuries, some ambiguity here. But the reasoning on this play at a 1-unit play in, of course, week 0, slightly data deficient. I like to fade what happened early season last year because the environment has shifted. Go back to early season last year. Wyoming had 2 road games out of conference at UConn and at Northern Illinois within the MAC. They were favored in both games. They pushed in the MAC 50-43 on a 7 in a back and forth ridiculous game, 93 points. And at minus 26, roughly, against UConn, they only won a game by 2 points. So what's that telling you? It's telling you that Wyoming out of conference as a favorite does not function very well. Oftentimes in college and professional sports, when a team functions poorly in a situation as a significant favorite, when they're a significant dog, their efficiency shifts. And you go to Illinois. Illinois is inherently in a trap spot. A lot of people saying it's the first game of the season, they should be jacked up. I disagree. Next Friday night, they go to their conference opener at Indiana on national television, a regional rivalry game. And again, fading the environment of early season last year in week 1, Illinois did win outright against the aforementioned Nebraska at plus 6.5. Now they have to cover 2 touchdowns against an out-of-conference team that is lackluster and uninspiring with a look-ahead spot next week to Indiana. Sign me up for Wyoming here at plus 10.5. Of course, you guys getting it now are on 14, so bless you for that. Let's dominate. Second play from the gun, Charlotte at FAU, a total at 59.
You got to learn something about what happened last year. Look, this team has hit 6 out of the 7 unders in this matchup, and they play every single year. But I think this year is a little bit different. Let me tell you why. FAU does bring back 14 returning starters, but they lose 6 out of 7 of their top tacklers from last year. So what you're going to see is the defense kind of learning to gel with one another. And I think it's going to be a tough spot to stop a Charlotte offense that brings back so much from last year, and it was their strength last year. On the other side of the spectrum, you go look at Charlotte. Charlotte's defense was absolutely abysmal last year. They gave up 465 yards per play and 5.4 yards rushing per attempt. So I don't think the defense is going to change for Charlotte. I think they're going to try to go tit for tat with FAU, and especially in a quasi-revenge spot, even though they got killed last year. Listen, they were up 9-7 at halftime of last year's game, so you may see a little bit more of the same, but I think it's going to be slightly different because of the point perspective in this one. The line last year was 57. It's 59 this year. I'm going to take the over 59 as the play.
Yeah, and jumping off that game I mentioned on Twitter before, an official play dropping, my 4th official play for week 0. We are adding officially Charlotte plus 7.5. And Gunn said it, the total's telling us a story. The environment is shifting. Last year, Charlotte at home got absolutely clobbered against FAU 38-9. However, the line is telling us a great story within the conference here in Conference USA. Last year, FAU on the road won 38-9 on a minus 6.5. When you win at that margin on a 6.5, a touchdown on the road, and you come home and you lay just north of a touchdown at 7.5, this should be 9.5, 10, 11. It's short, and it's telling you a story, and it's telling you what happened last year. FAU at home was 1-3 against the spread in conference, a bit of a fraudulent home calendar ATS if you don't look conference versus out of conference, because early season they hammered Georgia Southern out of the Sun Belt and they smacked Fordham out of New York City. What's going on here? And if you really zoom into this game 38-9 last year for Charlotte, why did they get hammered? Situational environment. They were coming off a road win at Florida International. They had their bye week, and then they played at home on Thursday night. It was their only Thursday game of the whole year. They were off a bye week. They didn't get 2 weeks of rest. They came back midweek, a little bit too much rest, funky spot, weird emotional time. And as Gunn said, they were up 9-7.5, and they got backdoored egregiously. Shout out to Nick Wright in the second half, 21-0. So plus 7.5, official play from the Shark. We are going to UTEP. Gunn's picks, an official play at 7 p.m. UTEP hosting the North Texas Mean Green.
For the inaugural Week 0 show, I will say this is the pick that we embrace debate, because we may be on different sides on this one, but let me tell you why I like UTEP. UTEP is coming off one of the best seasons that they've had. 7-6, and they bring back 15 starters, 7 on offense, 6 on defense, including their QB, top running back, and their top 3 tacklers from last season. They are actually ranked number 7 in experience this season going in. So actually looking at UTEP at home, in the last 3 season openers, 7-2 straight up. And I'm telling you, I don't understand why this team is an underdog in this spot. And I know it probably sounds a little bit fishy, but North Texas, their strength last year was their offense. They had DeAndre Torrey. He was a major part of the production of the success of that team. He is gone, so they're going to have to rely a little bit more on Austin Oon. I don't know what he's done in the offseason. Has he worked with Tom Brady? Is he on the TB12 method? Because last season, he had a 51.2% completion rate, 9 touchdowns, 9 INTs. I need to see more on paper to make me bet on North Texas moving forward because DeAndre Torrey's not there. I need some scoring. Also on the defensive strength was pressuring the quarterback last year. They have a full rebuild on the defensive line, which was a huge strength for them because they were killing the quarterback last year, at least on the rush. And they're very depleted on the secondary as well. So on that, I'm going to be taking UTEP plus 1.5 as the play.
As we said, I think talking about Nick Wright segued us to debate, disagreement, conversation in life, powerful stuff. I disagree. Official play, UNT -1. And what I'm looking at here, first off, is conference sanctioned within line functionality. Last year, North Texas hosting 20-17 win at a pick'em. Now you go on the road to UTEP and you lay 1. This should be UTEP -3, -4. It's showing significant strength towards North Texas. And then you have to really go through both teams' calendars last year and look at what happened. There's something called momentum. Who had momentum to close the season? North Texas. North Texas started the season 1-6 and finished the season 5-0 before losing in a bowl game to Miami of Ohio out of the MAC 27-14. However, when you really start to go through North Texas's schedule, why were they 1-6 to start? At SMU. Blown out by UAB's best team in 20 years, hammered at Missouri out of the SEC, hammered against Marshall, hammered against Liberty, who just graduated a quarterback to the NFL. Classy teams. Then they came back in conference, win against Rice, win against Southern Miss, win against UTEP, blow out FIU, and a win against number 22 ranked UTSA, 45-23. Go to the other side of this. UTEP last year started the season 6-1. Why did they start 6-1? I'll tell you why. New Mexico State, 2-10 overall record. Bethune-Cookman out of the SWAC, 2-9 straight up. New Mexico, down year last year, 3-9 straight up. Old Dominion, 6-7. Southern Miss, shout to Brett Favre, not on last year's team, 3-9 straight up. La Tech, 3-9 straight up, and Rice, 4-8. UTEP's 6 wins to start the season. The team's combined record was 17-61. And then they cratered down the stretch. And I think this is going to tell a great story. We have North Texas at -1. Disagreement. You guys can tail or fade whoever you want here. All respect and love. Final play, 10:30 p.m. Eastern on the island in Hawaii. SEC, Vanderbilt football, -9.5 against Hawaii. Guns, picks, and official.
My former guy, Mike Elko, leading the Commodores into the island. Listen, they've been there all week. We hope that they've been more of prepping for Hawaii and not enjoying the sand and the shore of Hawaii. But let's look at Hawaii for a second. Only 6 starters come back this season, plus a brand new coach. Former quarterback Timmy Chang is taking over the realm. They are ranked 128th in experience this year. A lot of animosity from the Todd Graham era. A lot of transfers because of that. So this team is in a full reset, rebuild. Then you have a Vandy team under Mike Elko. Listen, they went 2-10 last season, but they were 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 games on a very tough SEC schedule. So take that into account going into this game. They're bringing back a bunch of experience, 14 starters back, including their starting quarterback, top receiver, and 5 out of their 6 top tacklers are back for Vandy. So take that into account. And fun little stat. You know how many times Vandy has been favored in the last 8 years? Twice. This is the third one. In those instances, they were 2-0 straight up and against the spread in those spots. So take that all into account. With all the statistics applied, we're going to be going with Vandy minus 9.5 as the play.
Love it. And historical data does apply there. When you see a team, obviously bottom feeder, Vanderbilt in the SEC for a long period of time, as far as I can remember for sure. So when you see historical data, only the third time favored in the last long window of time and 2-0 ATS prior, strong stuff there. 4 top plays for me, Nebraska minus 12, 12:30 Eastern in Ireland, 4 p.m. Wyoming, 10.5 now 14, Charlotte plus 7.5, North Texas at 9, minus 1, gun alignment along with Fusini and Old Man Who Bets, Nebraska at 11, over Charlotte, FAU 59, UTEP plus 1.5, disagreement there, and Vandy minus 9.5. Signing out, free Friday, Sharky Waters Nation, Shark into Gun, knowledge for college, guns picks, couple words, and let's close it out.
Listen, we want to make this show grow, so please like, share, retweet this video, whether it be on Twitter, and please subscribe to the Dad Bod YouTube channel because we will be doing this every week, every Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so keep joining us along. Till next time, week 1 when the big slate hits. We'll see you next time. Peace.